Welcome to another video presentation. Today we are going to talk about IELTS Writing Task 2. I'll be sharing 11 general tips with you, and I hope they will help you with your writing task 2 in IELTS exam. The first and the most important thing is to understand the scoring criteria. How is your writing task 2 marked or scored by the examiner? Here are 4 important things that you need to take into consideration. The task response, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. The rubric is a public document and that is available on Google. You can download and have a look at the details of each of these 4 points. The task response is all about your response to the task, to what extent you appropriately respond to the task and cover the key points. Whether your task is on target or off target, the examiner will certainly look at these different aspects of your essay. Coherence between the sentences and cohesion between the paragraphs is very important. So your essay should be very much coherent and cohesive. Third, the range of vocabulary, the lexical resource that you use. Are you using grammatical? Are you using a variety of vocabulary items, idiomatic structures, proverbial sentences, etc. Grammatical range and accuracy, of course, very much important. The range of complex structures that you use, and if they are accurate enough, then of course you will score well in IELTS writing task 2. Each criterion contributes 25% of the total writing score. If you do not care about these parameters in your writing, you will lose a good portion of your score. So very important to understand the rubric, which is available online and you can download it from Google. And when you start your practice, it's important that you practice and assess your own work after you finish writing an essay. So understanding of the rubric is very, very important. Right, so regarding the 11 tips that I'm going to share with you, the first and the most important one is to understand the question, the writing task given to you. Understanding what the question specifies is overcoming half of the problem. So you need to carefully read the question and understand each and every word in that question. It is essential to pay attention to all the issues mentioned in the question. First, look at the question carefully. Then, identify the question type. There are a number of different types of questions in IELTS, so you need to know whether it's a discussion question, whether it's an opinion type of question, or a solution to the problem, or maybe a combination of both. So you need to identify the keywords, underline them, and understand them precisely so you can respond to the question appropriately. So if you don't understand the keywords and you don't understand the question, your response will be considered off target. Avoid writing on a general topic, or you won't score more than a 5, more than a band 5. So you need to be specific to the topic. You need to stick to the topic. You're not supposed to write in general. That's very important to understand the key words, identify the types of question, and then the second thing comes, and that is to map out your ideas. So once you have understood the question, underline the key words, then you need to brainstorm ideas, and you should give it about 3 to 5 minutes. You should not start writing uh, about the topic right away. Spend about 3 to 5 minutes and brainstorm various ideas. Jot them down. Take a pencil and jot down as many as various aspects and perspectives related to the particular issue in the essay. The test taker or the candidate would score more if he or she plans well and organizes their ideas in a proper paraphrased manner. It will, in a way, save more time as you as you have already pictured the essay in your mind, and and it will help you actually to pen down your essay in a better and faster way. So organization of ideas is important. Brainstorming of ideas is important. Only if you can brainstorm your ideas properly and then organize them, you would be in a better position to write your essay well. It's important that you familiarize yourself with common topics. You look at the websites, number of different websites like IELTS tutorials or Liz IELTS and Jackie IELTS. I mean, number of different websites are there online. They can help you, um, you know, with familiarizing yourself with a lot of different topics. They can that you can practice prior to the test, right? So it's important that you do a lot of model tests and questions, and that will help you with your writing practice, and it will help you with your understanding of various types of questions. Okay. Furthermore, it will help in widening your vocabulary to brainstorm more ideas, because every time you go for a practice test, uh, you will just you will just brainstorm the ideas for 3 to 5 minutes and organize them and then start writing. So that practice is extremely important. It's important that you read newspapers more often. That will increase your vocabulary range as well, and that will keep you in touch with current issues around the world. Okay? Always remember that IELTS exam does not test your knowledge about a topic. Rather, it tests your competency in the English language. That's the key thing. So your knowledge of the topic is not important. How you express yourself about the topic and the language that you use, that's the most important part. So present your answer with a clear thought process with multiple examples to make your writing piece more intelligible and more enhanced, right? Okay, another important point is that you need to ask yourself questions about the topic, right? To prompt ideas is to ask yourself questions while reading the essay or the topic. For example, the question is that uh, what are the advantages and disadvantages of online teaching and learning? So you can ask various questions. Ask yourself questions. Okay, um, what are the advantages? Uh, how can we benefit from online teaching? What are the disadvantages? So, um, do I learn well when I attend an online session? Okay, do I pay much attention when I attend a session online? Right? Um, problems like problems related to the internet or other issues. So you create questions in your head, and those questions can lead to more ideas. Okay, so as part of the brainstorming of ideas, uh, asking yourself questions is a very important tip that can help you brainstorm ideas. So when you ask these questions to yourself, then you will be able to think more evidently and thereby creating more ideas, right? And then, of course, you jot them down as you move on. Right. Fifth important point is that you need to employ your personal opinion, your personal standpoint. It's very important. If the question is online teaching is an effective way of, you know, is an effective way of teaching and learning these days, to what extent uh, do you agree or disagree with the point? So you need to make your point very clear at the beginning. I agree with the point that online teaching is helping learners around the world. If you disagree, again, you make it very clear right away. Okay? So the most effective method to write an enhanced essay is to include your personal opinion in the essay. It should be given at the beginning, and then, of course, in the conclusion, you revise it. Okay, or you restate your opinion. Imagine the topic of the essay is a question asked of you by your friend, and then you phrase your piece as if you are conveying what you believe in, your thoughts about the topic, right? Also, try to use relevant examples and instances in the essay to make it clearer, right? So, give your personal opinion, state your personal position right at the beginning, and then support that position with number of relevant examples and instances in your essay. Make sure there is no contradiction between what you said at the beginning and then you give example in the middle of the essay. It should be consistent. There should be sort of consistency in your opinion throughout the essay. It's important that you manage your time well because you will have only 1 hour for the two writing tasks. Task 1, 20 minutes, and then task 2, 40 minutes, right? So the essay is supposed to be written in 40 minutes, right? So you need to manage your time really well. So start writing your essay with a proper strategy. Do not spend more than 5 minutes in planning or organizing your ideas. Or the brainstorming stage shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes, right? Otherwise, you would have only like 30 minutes for the essay or 35 minutes. So, if possible, try to complete your essay within 36 to 37 minutes so that you can spend the last 2 to 3 minutes in proofreading, right? If there are any spelling errors these days, candidates take computer-based tests, so they can easily correct their grammar, spelling, etc. So proofreading, time for proofreading is important, and you should have 2 to 3 minutes for that purpose. As you might have written the essay in a hurry, proofreading will help you identify spelling and grammar errors, if any. This way, you can complete your task efficiently within the allotted time. Okay, lexical resource, very important. You need to enhance and improve your existing vocabulary range. So lexical resource is one of the 4 writing assessment criteria that I talked about on the first line, and that contributes to the writing score. But many of the IELTS candidates are unaware of the use of lexical features. Lexical resource refers to the use of sufficient range of vocabulary, correct usage of spellings, proper implementation of collocations, word formation, idioms, etc. Those who are unknown to this, they use repetitive words in their essay. But an examiner is looking for a variety of words and phrases in your answer. So if you use repetitive words, you lose marks. So ideally, in one paragraph, you should not repeat one word. Okay? I mean keywords, content words. You should not repeat them. And you should have sufficient range of vocabulary, and you should be in a position to use more synonyms for that purpose. Okay? When candidates do not find any variety of language, it creates a negative impression about their vocabulary, right? So it's important that you keep learning, keep reading, and keep improving your vocabulary. And that practice and that learning will certainly be reflected in your writing essay task 2. Paragraphing is key to coherent and cohesive writing. So many candidates do not use paragraphs while writing an academic piece or an article. So it's important that you consider this as an important aspect of the coherence and cohesion criterion of the rubric, right? A lot of the candidates make this mistake that they forget about the paragraphs, or they describe the entire topic clearly in just a single paragraph. But doing so in IELTS essay writing task 2 will definitely cost your marks. So it's important that you should have at least 4 paragraphs, right? Introduction, body paragraphs, body paragraph 1, 2, and conclusion. About paragraphing, it's important that you break down your ideas into different paragraphs. each explain each idea of yours in details with relevant examples in one paragraph. So a topic sentence followed by relevant examples and then a concluding sentence, and then you should move on to the next paragraph, right? Start another paragraph with a new idea. So one paragraph, one idea, and relevant examples, of course. But remember, your ideas should be logically linked. They're written in different paragraphs, so there should be logical connections between the two paragraphs, between two or three different ideas. In an essay with four paragraphs, uh, an essay with four paragraphs is ideal for IELTS writing task 2. You can add more paragraphs, but only if required. Okay? Do not put in any unwanted information or try to unnecessarily expand the paragraphs. This will reduce the chance of achieving high band score. So your paragraph should be precise and concise. Unnecessary, unwanted information should not be there. You should stick to the topic, and you should only give examples related to the topic. Complete your answer in order to finish the task before the time runs out. Many candidates tend to leave the answers incomplete. There are some who choose another way of writing to complete their responses. They either write short sentences or put only bullet points, which is absolutely wrong, of course. IELTS test is meant to assess your English language skills, your competence in the English language. And if you leave the answers incomplete, the examiner will not be able to judge your skills. As a result, you will lose marks. So it's important that you give a complete answer in order to give the examiner a chance to judge you properly. Instead of writing bullet points or short sentences, you must formulate each point in a separate paragraph with 2 to 3 lines of explanation as well as examples. This way you can showcase your writing skills and create a good impact on the examiner to score better. So you need to impress the examiner with paragraphs, with the layout of your essay, with the variety of examples that you include in paragraphs, and then the range of vocabulary that you use. You have to impress the examiner. And in order to impress the examiners, it's also important to use, you know, range of grammatical structures and good spelling, correct spellings, and appropriate use of punctuation. Using appropriate grammar, writing correct spellings, and placing the punctuation marks at right places play a vital role in IELTS writing task 2. So you need to be extra careful regarding this. Very important, right? Because if your grammar, um, if you make grammar mistakes or spelling errors or punctuation errors, it can make it difficult for the examiner to understand your message. So you have to work on these areas. Even a minor mistake will directly reduce your score. Thus, a prior practice is very, very important to make sure that you score well in the IELTS writing task 2. Okay? Right, it's important to use formal language. Well, we send messages and SMS, and we use these different types of chat applications, due to which our writing is definitely influenced in a negative way, right? So we often use informal expressions, or we shorthand text, but this practice is strictly prohibited for the IELTS exam. Using inappropriate language or informal language or terminologies which are considered inappropriate, they might offend the examiner, and as a result you might lose the grade. So you should be very careful in using the type of language, and your language should be formal language in writing. Okay, now that you're quite familiar with the IELTS writing task 2, you have enough knowledge, it will be easier for you to achieve your desired score in IELTS essay writing task 2. Committing mistakes will reduce your chance to succeed. So ensure that you go through these 11 tips thoroughly and put them into regular practice. Practice is key. You need to understand all of these tips and strategies, and when you practice, you need to actually put them in practice, and you make them part of your regular practice. Be clear and precise in expressing your ideas and add suitable examples to enhance your writing. Right? That's all for today. In another video, I'll give you 4 more practical tips to understand the process of writing IELTS Task 2. Thank you very much.